Now, there's a couple of things I've sort of railed against over the years. Well, maybe more than a couple. One is weed, and weed and psychosis, weed and schizophrenia, weed and mental collapse are well documented now. Another is alcohol. Another is alcohol. I was trying to think. I was trying to think of the last time I had a drink, and I had half a shot of Fireball whiskey a couple of weeks ago when I was trying to clear my sinuses, and before that, maybe 6 weeks before that, I had a Michelob Ultra while playing trivia with some friends. I couldn't remember prior to that. So, I mean, I'm not a 100% teetotaler, but I last got drunk when I was it was at it was after I played Macbeth, the cast party. I got drunk, and I was 21 or 22. That was the last time I got drunk. I mean, I just won't do it. It's just absolutely vile. Being drunk is like voluntarily giving yourself vertigo and a neurological disorder. The spins are horrible. You're sitting on the bed, and what was the old line? You're not drunk if you can lie on the floor without holding on. And especially if you drink beer, you feel nauseous. You get the spins. You just want to sleep, but you can't sleep because you keep waking up to pee because you drank so much beer. It's really just the most vile thing around. And I just become I'm exactly myself when I drink, or when I drank. I'm exactly myself, just nauseous and uncoordinated. Why on earth would I do that to myself? I guess some people drink because they're socially anxious, but I don't really have any of that kind of stuff. But alcohol, this is from Stin Norman in England. Here's the drug harm score out of 100 for selected drugs. This is as of 2010. So harm to users, health, damage, mental impairment and dependence, mortality, loss of tangibles and relationships. Harm to others, community, economic and environmental costs, crime and injury, family adversities. Number one by far is alcohol. Number one by far is alcohol, with a score over 70 out of 100. This is the drug harm score. It's a combination of harm to others and harm to self, harm to users. So way at the top is alcohol. Next is heroin with a score of 55, crack cocaine, score of 53, 54. Then methamphetamine, cocaine, tobacco, amphetamine, cannabis, benzodiazepines. Isn't that what took down Jordan Peterson? Ketamine, methadone, ecstasy, LSD, and mushrooms. Now, again, I'm aware. I mean, I understand the multivariable factors, right? That alcohol is higher than heroin because alcohol is more common than heroin. I get all of that. I understand all of that. What harm does alcohol cause you? Well, immediate drowsiness, feeling of relaxation. I never got that. Loss of inhibitions. Lord knows I could use a few more inhibitions in my life, so alcohol did not help me with that. Confusion, loss of consciousness, slower breathing, slower heart rate, nausea, vomiting, dehydration, unsteadiness, loss of coordination, risky behavior, e.g. unsafe sex. Of course, I would include drunk driving and all of that. Long-term dependence, pretty big. Risk of anxiety, increased risk of anxiety and depression. Brain damage, yeah, that's important. Heart problems, liver problems, increased risk of diabetes and obesity, malnutrition, cancer, and serious birth defects if used during pregnancy. It's a fucking poison, people. So how does alcohol work in the body? You drink alcohol. Once in the bloodstream, alcohol crosses the blood-brain barrier and affects the brain. Alcohol moves through the body and absorbs into the bloodstream. Alcohol in the brain increases levels of feel-good dopamine. The brain sends signals to increase heart rate and blood pressure. And most of the alcohol gets absorbed through the stomach, 20%, small intestine, 80%. On an empty stomach, alcohol can get to the brain in 1 minute. The liver breaks down alcohol so that it can leave the body. One drink or 0.5 to 1 ounce of alcohol roughly per hour is what gets done. But the dopamine increase from alcohol is temporary, and it lowers your baseline once the effects wears off, right? So not drinking, your dopamine levels, say, would be 50. Drinking, they go to 100, and then your dopamine level crashes because once the body artificially produces something, the natural production tends to diminish, right? Alcohol is a poison. Your body breaks it down into acetaldehyde, a toxic chemical. The buzz isn't a benefit, it's your brain reacting to poison. This breakdown is toxic and damages your cells. Your liver breaks it down, but the process harms the liver over time. This is true even for only 1 or 2 drinks per night, right? So, as you know, cirrhosis of the liver, all sorts of problems, right? Alcohol stays in your system longer than you think. Blood, 1 to 2 hours per drink. Breath, 12 to 24 hours. Urine, 12 to 24 hours. With moderate to heavy drinking, some alcohol will still be in your system when you wake up. Frequent drinking leads to more cortisol at baseline. This is the stress hormone. This effect makes you more stressed and anxious when you're not drinking. Alcohol also disrupts sleep. Low amounts of alcohol decrease sleep quality by 9.3%. That's less than 2 drinks for men, less than 1 drink for women. Moderate amounts of alcohol decrease sleep quality by 24%. High amounts of alcohol decrease sleep quality by 39.2%. That's not that high. More than 2 drinks for men and more than 1 drink for women. Alcohol also increases the conversion of testosterone into estrogens, bad for gaining muscles, also increase health risks. Then, of course, alcohol gives you empty calories. There's no nutritional value in the calories it creates. So if you drink a lot, this can increase your weight. That's sort of the famous beer gut. Benefits of drinking in terms of health? Nope, there aren't any. It's a myth that red wine is good for you. Some drinks do give you less of a hangover. I guess you can minimize damage. But the biggest downside, this is from the article, the biggest downside of alcohol might not even be your health. It's the things you do while you drink that you regret the next day. But you can reverse most damage by quitting. The brain starts recovering quite quickly, and a full reset takes 2 to 6 months for longer for heavy users. Ton of health benefits. So if you quit alcohol, the quality of your sleep will increase. You will feel better. You will be better hydrated. You will find it easy to lose weight. You'll reduce your blood pressure. Your skin health will improve. Mood and levels of concentration rise. Your memory will begin to improve. Your stomach will feel better. Your liver will be healthier. And you may dodge accidents because alcohol plays a role in at least half of all serious trauma injuries and deaths. Cut back to reduce injuries and sick days. It's demon sweat. It is absolute demon sweat. I loathe alcohol. And in the alcohol category, the only thing I loathe more than alcohol are the complete demonic assholes who try to make it cool to drink. Hey, man, you just got to relax, unwind, crack a cold one, man. Just relax and put on some Tune Edge, stare at the lake, just chat. It'll be great, man. Put on some Floyd. I have bottomless contempt for people who cannot socialize without alcohol. That is the saddest and most pathetic thing. Hey, and I remember this with some friends I had when I was much younger, who I suspected and was in fact right that they were drifting into alcoholism. I'm like, why do we have to drink every time we get together? Why do you guys have to have drinks every time? Like, why can't you get together without drinks? You can't watch a movie without drinks. You can't have a party without drinks. You can't have a pool party without drinks. You can't have a picnic without drinks. You can't go to the cottage without drinks. You can't do anything. I mean, you'd probably have a drink at the gym if there was a coaster. Hey, man, why are you trying to control us? You're just a square, I have such contempt for it. And I have bottomless contempt for all the movies that promote drinking, and in particular, the movies that promote weed culture. They're coming out of Hollywood. That is just absolutely demonic destruction. Absolutely demonic destruction. It's absolutely monstrous. Absolutely monstrous. And of course, there are young, impressionable people who are looking for what's cool. It's kind of like in movies, you always see the same thing, which is people with the worst conceivable lifestyles and the greatest possible physiques. It's wretched. Yeah, if you need alcohol, thank you, more son. If you need alcohol, you just gotta stop. I know it's tough, but please, God. I mean, talk to your doctor and all of that, but you just gotta stop. I can't stand being around people who are drunk because I'm not with them. I'm only with the alcohol.